Hi everyone, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. I'm greeting you according to your time zone. My name is Chris, and welcome to ANC Candles and Car Air Fresheners. So, today I decided to start a little series or a limited series, which I call How to Start or How to Begin Your Journey into Car Air Fresheners. All right, if you want to start your own car air freshener business, this is the video you can refer to, or this is the video you can watch to get you going. Okay, so now if you talk about car air fresheners, there is not just one um, car air freshener material that you can use. I've been using a lot of different materials in my time being a car air freshener and candle maker. So it's been different. There are different ways or different materials. There are different materials that you can use to make or create your own car air fresheners. And over the years, I've used so many different materials, but I've decided to stick to one. Notwithstanding, that doesn't mean that I cannot switch or go back to something that I've used before or go back to something that I see that I can use or something that meets the requirements for car air freshener. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about different materials that you could use to start your own car air fresheners. So before we begin, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do that and click the like button and also share this video if you see that is something that some of your friends or family members will benefit from. Okay, so normally you will see the cardstock or the paper felt car air fresheners. Those are the number one. Those are like popular around the world actually, and you know the popular one out there. Okay, the one that is that looks like a tree. You know what I mean? So that's the popular one out there. The paper felt one. That's what majority of you have seen in the stores or in a car. Some of you actually have that right now in your car, right? So that's the one people know of, and that's what you call the felt or the cardstock. So you can see one of the ones that I have here. Okay, so this is one of the major ones people use, not this diagram of a bear. Talking about the cardstock, the paper one, where people draw, scent this up or put a design on it, scent it up, and then they sell it. Okay, so that's number one. And the other one that I've used is actually the wood. Okay, so this is a design that I came up with when I lived in Buffalo, New York. You can see the buffalo image there. Okay, so this is one I came up with when I lived there, and I sold some of this in some retail stores in Buffalo, and sold some online. And this was when I opened my first Shopify store, and I believe this was in 2015 when I did this one. Okay, this one, when I started this one, was probably 2010 to 2011. That's when I started the felt car air freshener. Okay, and when I started, I was using this, so you guys can see. I was using this felt. I went to this company. They no longer exist in the United States. I went to this company right here, and that's where I got my cardstock then. Okay, and I got them in multiple designs. So I got some like this. I got some that are just straight up square. So that's how I used to make mine, and some of them were like rectangular, some were like the shape of a heart, the love shape. So that's how I used to get them and put design on them by ironing on them. Okay, so then in 2015 I went to this. Oops, you can tell this one is darker because there's been fragrance in it, and this one is lighter, there's nothing applied to it. Okay, and this was when I started getting more professional with my car air freshener. Because then I used to just make my car air freshener and I put them in a bag similar to this, and I just wrap them up and send them to customers like this. All right. This was when I started becoming professional, and I started wrapping them. In 2015, I started wrapping them like this, and I started selling them to stores and to customers on my website. All right. But then, the more you look at the niche you've carved yourself into, like the car air freshener niche, you realize that you want to do something more than just the regular car air freshener that people do. So you try to move away from the regular felt and wood. So you try to move away from that, and you try to see something else that other people haven't, you try to do something else other people haven't done before or seen, or like, I should say popular within your niche. So that's when in 2017 I decided to go into the ceramics. So right here you can see one of the products I made. So that's the shape of a heart. Okay, so this was made out of ceramic. All right, so you just put the fragrance oil on top of it, or you soak the stone, and it will bring out its a fragrance. Okay, so I did this in 2017, right? And the concept about this is that when you take this out, take it out. So you see it like that. Maybe you guys can see it better. Let me focus it right here. Right there. All right. So what I did, because then I was studying in things that had to do with the heart. So I had to create something like this while I was still in school during the exam period. So those days, during my exam time, is when I started having creativity, when I'm under stress, examination stress and all of that, and anxiety. That's when my brain works faster in creating products. I don't know why that happens for me. Other people, they just eat when they are stressed during the exam. Other people, they just, you know, drink, right? But for me, it's just product creation. That's when I can create products really fast in my head. So that's when I created this. Okay. And the concept about this is that this is the clip, okay? So I go to the back of it and I just put it in there, see that? And then you can clip it to the car like that, right? Then it sits just this way, right? And then before that, a bottle will go with the customer. So they just put their drop on it and then they can use it. But the issue with this for me is that I didn't follow up with this. I got some samples from the manufacturer, but I didn't order the entire 1,000 units that I was supposed to order, because I realized that when I did the test, there was something wrong with the plastic at the back, that under severe heat it just melts. Okay, so that's why I didn't use it. Not that the stone itself, the ceramic, doesn't work. It does work, you can smell it. But if there is any if it's really hot, it will leak fragrance oil, and then can cause damage in the vents of the car. That's why even when I do my card stock, I still tell them to be careful with hot weather, because if it's really too hot and if your fragrance is not, dried completely inside your card or inside your material, it could leak fluid or liquid out, and it could cause some damages to the vent or any area that oil will touch. And also, I always tell people not to put the cardstock or any material that is for car air freshener on leather seat or vinyl or any part of your car, because when it's really hard, it will stick to that material of your car and then could cause some damage in there. Okay, so I always tell my customers that I have that at the back of my card so they see it. Okay, so this is another material you could use. It's ceramic stone, or you can even have your own cemented stone. You can create yours, which I've done. I don't know if I have anyone here with me, but I know in one of my videos I showed you guys that I was creating like my own cemented car air freshener. Okay, but I didn't follow through with that because I just didn't think I want to go that route anymore. All right. So the next one is this one. I want to show you guys, which was actually sent to me by a manufacturer in Alibaba. Okay, um, it was sent to me, and this is this type of material. It is called EVA. Okay, a lot of you might not know what that EVA means. I've been doing a lot and lot of research about the EVA material for car air freshener, and it is different, and it is awesome. Okay, I like it, but boy, it is so expensive. Okay, I really like it. I really do. But the issue is that just to get before I get there, let me just tell you the other name you guys probably might know it to be. It is also known as the aroma beads. Okay, but you guys might not know it as the aroma beads because everywhere on YouTube and stuff, that's what they call it, aroma beads or scented beads. But these are actually EVA. Okay, think it is ethylene vinyl um, something. Okay, I can't remember the name, but I'll put the name on the screen when I edit this video so you guys can see it. But it is plastic beads, all right, and I'll tell you the reason why I'm not using. I'll tell you some of the reasons why I'm not using them, and I'll tell you the reasons why I wanted to use them. So let me start with the reasons why I wanted to use them. So the reasons why I wanted to use this material, EVA, or what you guys call aroma beads, all right? Number one is that it has a long lasting fragrance. Okay, it could last up to 45 days. It is a very, very long lasting product. Okay, and it's easy to create locally. Okay, if you want to create yours locally, it's easy to create, right? And that would be in two parts. If I say easy to create locally, meaning that you can just pop it in your oven, the beads, you can buy the beads on Amazon or online, and you can just scent them and put them in a jar, send them and shake them every couple of hours, and you can add colors to them if you want to, and then you can just leave them there to dry. That's the long process, right? So it could take about a week or 2 weeks or more to dry, depending on the fragrance that you choose to add to it. But so after it dries, then you can put them in. You can put it in a container or in a mold, and some people use cookie cutters, and you can put them in there, and then they will solidify in your oven, and they will come together. Okay, they will melt together. Then you take them out after certain minutes, maybe 10 minutes or so, depending on your oven. You take them out and they dry. Then you pop them open, and they give that form of they take the form of the cookie cutter or any mold that you choose to put on them. Okay, so you can really do this at home, but the reasons why I'm not using them and the reasons why I don't or make them is because, number one, it doesn't look professional to my standard. Okay, it doesn't look professional if you do it the way I just described. And you can see the way I just described it. You can see it on Etsy, and it sells amazingly. Okay, so people buy them. People make good money selling those things because they last good. Okay, and people can make, they can use cards and design it. You can make a lot of designs out of that. Okay, but for me, I just, this is me personally, I just don't see myself, doing that like that. I, like, you guys might know me as someone who doesn't like to do the same thing other people do. I like to stand out. I like to be different. And if you go online, you will see a lot of the same thing, okay? The same mold, the same cookie cutter, the same, everything is the same. And then you competing with all these people, right? So that's one of the reasons why I don't, because they don't, to me, it doesn't really look that much professional. This is my own opinion, okay? And to other people, it might look professional, and that is good. And to other people, mine might not look professional to them, and that's fine, okay? So I just wanted to put it out there. Now, the third reason that I'm not using this EVA is that it is crazy expensive to do it professionally, okay? So you guys can see how professional this looks, right? So when I contacted this manufacturer on Alibaba, and I told them about what I do, and I asked them if they could make this for me, right? But in my own design, you know how I like things to be my own design. It's okay, let this be. I wanted 3 or 4 designs to start with. And they told me the minimum quantity for one design was 5,000 units. And okay, I have a good negotiation skill when it comes to Alibaba. I've been doing this with them for a long time, right? But these people will not budge. They will not budge at all. So I try to let them know, okay, I'm trying to start this one. I want to see how it goes. But they refuse to even do it, right? So instead, they ask that, can I use one of theirs and they can give me lower quantity, MOQs. And I'm like, no, I want mine. And they wanted to use their own fragrance oil. And I'm not a big fan of their fragrance oil. Even with this one they sent to me, they sent about 6 of these to me, and the rest of them I tried to use some of them in my car, but the smell just smelled more chemically than, the ones I use here. So I didn't even like it. Even when I put it in my wife's car, she didn't like it at all. The smell wasn't like the kind of fragrance that we use there. That's one of the reasons why I never buy fragrance, car air freshener scented from Alibaba, because for some reason the way their fragrance is totally different. Okay, and it just smells like more of chemical to me than the fragrance that I'm used to. All right. So the fourth reason why I don't use this is because even though they told me how I could produce this myself, number one, the machine to produce this is expensive. They told me it will cost about $50,000 to use the machine, to buy the machine actually. Okay, that's just the the machine to make it professional like this. Okay, because this one completely melts everything, injects the fragrance into the fibers of the EVA material, right? So I couldn't afford that. I can't afford that right now, right? So instead, I went for the cheaper machine. So they will use what they call injection, okay, injection machine. Okay, so that's what they will use. So I bought a desktop injection machine, from a guy from Ukraine who makes this kind of stuff. So he understood what I wanted, and he said, yeah, he has it. So he makes them. He makes the machine. So he sold me the machine. I got it from eBay, and he sent it to me, and I will show you guys the picture right there. And I used the machine, turn it on, and you also need to buy a mold, okay, that you need to pour the EVA beads. You need to pour it into the machine, and then you press on it. There to melt it immediately, and then creates that image, or that design based on the mode you put in there. It's a cool, it's very cool the way these things work. Okay, but the other issue is that I cannot use one machine. If I use one machine, which means I'm using one machine to produce one design and one type of fragrance oil, or what one type of freshener. Okay, which means that I cannot use the same machine. For example, if I'm using that machine to create vanilla car air freshener, after I press it down and I create that vanilla car air freshener, I cannot use that same machine to produce a strawberry with a red color, because now it's going to just be mixed with the vanilla smell and with the vanilla color. And I can't use that same machine to create a coffee smell. It's just going to be a mess. Okay. So that's going to cost a lot of money. Okay. Even if I try to melt it and then add fragrance oil, I've tried that before. It just doesn't work the way it should work. So that was one of the reasons why I can't go with this EVA. Okay. And now I have that machine just sitting down in my garage. Okay. I'm going to find something else to do with it. Maybe create some um, other mold, plastic mold that I can just sell on Amazon or something. But it would have nothing to do with car air freshener. It would just be used um, to create 3D mode and stuff like that. That's what I will be doing with that. So now that you guys have seen the materials that I use or that I have used in creating car air fresheners, I want to talk more about how you go about creating your car air freshener. I'm not going to talk about this because I've already told you guys about this. And plus, I know I'm spending more time on this because this would have been the coolest. Okay. So, the reason I'm talking about this more is because it is very expensive in the sense that for them, even if you find a manufacturer from Alibaba to do this for you, for them to create this for you, just for one design, to open a mold, that's what they call it, to design a mold for you for this, to cost you anywhere from $650 to about $1,100 for one, just to open the mold, to create the mold for just one. Okay, so if you have about 10 different design that you want to make for your car air freshener, so you will be spending $650 to $1,100 per design to create this. So that's why with this, it is advisable to just go with whatever they already have. For example, if they have this, they can sell this to you with their own fragrance oil. I mean, with their own fragrance in it, because you can't buy it unscented. You cannot buy it unscented. They will refuse to sell it to you unscented because after you buy it unscented, you can't even add fragrance oil to it. It's plastic. It will rub off. That's why it's called injection. So they inject everything within the process of the EVA being made. Okay, so bear that in mind. All right. So let's talk about, you know what? Maybe I should end the video here and we'll talk next time about putting fragrance, um, we'll talk next time about putting images on your card stock. Okay. So I'll see you guys in the next video. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe and give me a like, and also hit the bell notification so you will be notified every time I put a video on my channel. Okay, so the reason I want to call this here, I don't want it to be too long. Okay, so I'm going to make another video, another part. I'm going to start another part of the video right now, so you're going to see me with the same appearance. Okay, but I just want to cut it and break it into parts so you guys don't spend your whole day watching me on YouTube. All right, thank you guys. See you in the next video. Bye bye.